I never said that I didn't love Janelle. On the contrary, I actually said that I loved Janelle. This is some rumor that was created in the family that just sowed division.
My children really are my thing, right? I'm really wrapped up with them. I'm focused on
Kody
them.
and Robyn mismanaged the situation with her children.
But I had to explain to her, there's another wife that needs me, another mommy. I got other kids that I need to see me. She's just dragging along on my legs, screaming, don't leave me, Daddy, don't leave me. And I'm like, golly, man, this is...
Madison was not thriving, so Sister Wives actress Mary took care of her. It's been discussed a lot. Why, therefore, are Christine and Janelle acting repulsed now? We don't nurse each other's children. Oh no. You find the myth appealing. Please take a moment to appreciate Mary for standing up for you when you needed her. Even though Mary and I'd always agree, Janelle may have expressed her thanks to Mary by saying, yeah, we don't always see eye to eye, but I'll always be thankful for her feeding my daughter when she needed it. Where is Mary's justice in this situation? Welcome back to the TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. To be honest, it wasn't even about making fun of Mary. They were just dispelling the absurd myth that they engage in some kind of weird bonding ritual in which they sit in a circle and trade infants for amusement. Mary dismissed that absurdity as well, claiming that she didn't do it for any weird emotional high and that she did it only once due to medical necessity. But Robyn, oh Robyn, she's the only one who acknowledged that it does occur. Could you be any more obvious? Cue the odd smile and girly giggles. Tell me if this is a lie. Robyn, you go first without telling me you're lying. Their answer essentially validates what many had speculated, so there's been some serious investigating going on with the awesome jacket. The chronology of Kody's jacket deviates from the story they are promoting. Hence, it's evident that Kody and Robyn were attempting to manipulate events in order to improve their own perceptions. Moreover, Robyn consistently demonstrates her willingness to descend to Kody's level of dishonesty. No matter how absurd it is, it seems like she's actively taking part in the dramatization and is dedicated to his story. The fact that the jacket wasn't even made public in 2022 reveals the entire thing as a complete damage control ploy. Even when the facts are in front of everyone, they will alter reality to maintain their image. It would be unforgivably cold-hearted to think that they could have planned this entire thing in the wake of something as awful as Garrison's death. If that's the case, then, as you stated, we're dealing with soulless individuals who have no empathy. Regarding the scene where Janelle and Gabe are eating eggs, it's possible that it was also filmed in 2024. They appear to be attempting to recast the story any way they see fit, even if it means pretending different events occurred. This wouldn't be the first time they've reshot or changed sequences to conceal or avoid delicate themes, especially with Garrison. What irony, huh? The Sister Wives. When Mary was arguably the most loyal of all of them, star Kody is out here acting like her loyalty was her worst transgression. Is he unaware that he has been filming contradicting himself for 20 years? It's almost as like he has forgotten that there is actual video showing him continually telling different versions of the same story. Her was a lie. The lie detector concluded, and sure, Mary should include a video of herself melting her loyalty necklace in her next Instagram post. A chef's kiss, melting the one item that seemed to signify so much but actually signified nothing, would be the symbolic. In all honesty, you could probably use side-by-side screenshots of Kody contradicting himself as wallpaper for an entire house. That house would be a statement piece, even though it might not be feasible to live in or sell. Imagine going through it the same way you did when Kody first declared Mary to be his soulmate. At this point, he left her behind and acted as though she was the issue. The most absurd part is that the man rewrote history by calling Mary his soulmate, even though she hung on for years after he emotionally abandoned her and even brought other wives into the family for him to marry. He made an entire necklace to honor Mary's disloyalty during this time. After years, she suddenly acts as though she was unfaithful. Kody most certainly has brain damage if anyone does. Yes, it is quite offensive that reality star Kody dared to suggest that Mary had never remained faithful to him. This is especially true given all that she had sacrificed for him over the years. After years of emotional rejection, Mary was the one who stood by Kody and Robyn, defending both of them, and he has the audacity to call her disloyal. Mary gave so much up. She got legally divorced so Kody could marry Robyn and adopt her kids. She even gave up her dream of attending college to help with Robyn's failing jewelry business of sock. It really irritates me. The catfishing episode severely damaged Kody's ego, and rather than dealing with it like a responsible adult, he He's altered history to ease his hurt pride. He might have just said, "Yeah, after the catfishing, it was too much for me to forgive Mary." That would make sense, and in some ways be justified. However, he finds it simpler to pretend that he never loved her, that she was never dependable, that she didn't fit in with the other wives. All of the lies he tells to give the impression that he is in charge at all times. But the truth is that he wasn't, and that's what really gets to him. Even though it was horrible, Mary was the one who began to distance herself from the catfishing episode, which made her realize how emotionally distant she had already become from her husband. Kody wouldn't be able to manage her vulnerability. He was part of the reason she went to that stage. To be completely honest, even if we don't support cheating, I wish Sam had been authentic too. Can you picture Mary chasing after someone who truly valued her and dashing off into the sunset? That would have been the furthest thing Kody could have deserved. Yes, without a doubt. Although Kody Brown has always harbored a dread of Mary, this time he openly acknowledged it, which is really telling for someone who frequently asserts that his sole worry is poverty. His fear for Mary gives a far more complex picture. It goes beyond money. It's all about power and the fact that Mary has the keys to many of his skeletons despite his years of faithfulness. Consider it. Kody and Mary were lawfully wed for more than 20 years. She is someone with actual financial and legal clout, not merely your ex-wife. She could probably get access to his Social Security and part of his assets if she wanted to get legal. But Mary has the tea, which puts Kody in even more jeopardy. Having been at his side for 19 years, she is aware of all the secrets he has been keeping for many years. Kody is aware of the power in that. He clearly feels threatened, as evidenced by the fact that he melted down the wedding band. It was more than just a sign that the marriage was over. It was similar to Kody attempting to break any influence Mary might have on him. But no matter how hard you try, you can't just melt away years' worth of secrets or the reality of what you've done. There's more to the story, as seen by Mary's selfie that she shared with the book captioned, she's hiding things and Kody's afraid that if she ever decided to tell, it would reveal everything about him. To be honest, Kody's biggest nightmare is definitely Mary taking his money and secrets and running off with them. If anything scares him more than poverty, it's the realization of his own actions. Furthermore, Gabe, the son of Sister Wives star Janelle, truly delivered with that zinger. He's a strange man. When Gabe drops his line for the crowd, he's doing it with complete confidence. He seems to be entertaining us by giving us small morsels of truth. The chef's kiss was the quip about the hot water and lemons. It was a delight for everyone watching, and Gabe was clearly throwing some shade. You're correct too. The kind of customer who orders hot water and lemon is well known to everyone who has worked in the restaurant service industry. You can already tell they'll be fussy, judgmental, and likely full of unsolicited advice. It seems like Gabe is calling them out for being difficult from the beginning, and they are setting the tone for it. Worthless. You are visible to us. Oh, Gabe, there's tea leaking. Therefore, Sister Wives star Kody, the daughter of Al Prophet, claims that there are actually 3, threatened to withhold Christine's wild release from the church. It clarifies why he was acting so coy over his talk with the church. It was more than just his lack of concern. It's sad and instructive that he was making a conscious effort to keep Christine bound to him. It seems as though Christine's desire to leave and her support system made it impossible for Kody's ego to accept. I believe it's a little bit of both, whether Kody is still seeking his own planet in the afterlife or is just holding on to power. He constantly talks about how much he hates and will never love Christine, but it seems like a ploy to protect himself. It seems that he did love her, but in that toxic, possessive way, that if I can't have you, then no one can, the more he shouts. It's obvious that his biggest pet peeve was losing control over her. Most likely, he believed he could win her back. And that ship has sailed, since she is now happily remarried to David. His statement that he wanted to speak with David and tell him the whole truth about Christine smacks of regret and jealousy. It's the typical actions of someone who finds it unbearable to see their ex find happiness and go on. The fact that Christine comes from a polygamous royal family adds to the intrigue. She is more connected to her family than Kody could ever hope to be, despite his threats. The Alb isn't going to give in to Kody's demands, especially since he has shown himself to be a failure in their eyes. Losing 3 wives is the height of humiliation for someone who is meant to be the head of several families. Not only is the church leadership condemning him for the way Kody has been using his drama and ego to undermine polygamy rather than upholding it, but he has also been pitting Robyn and the other women against one another. He is an expert at using triangulation to set them against one another and prevent them from banding together to oppose him. Because he thought Robyn was the only person Kody confided in, and because he wanted to keep her happy, he couldn't tell her that he still felt anything for her. Robyn also likely thought she had a special status. As Janelle pointed out, at the end of the day, Kody's threats, his attempts to hold onto power, and his strained relationships with his wives had left him with nothing more than a fractured family. Meanwhile, Kody was leaking information everywhere. He's not the Superman he used to think he was. Furthermore, when you take into account where Christine's money actually went, Sister Wives actress Robyn Brown's assertion that she's better at saving money makes a lot less sense. Christine wasn't merely squandering money. Christine put her children's health above her own indulgences, paying for everything from daily necessities to significant medical costs, such as Gwen's breast reduction surgery. Therefore, Robyn's statement suggests that she has no understanding of or compassion for Christine's challenges as a single mother. Basically, it's especially hurtful when you compare that to the fact that Robyn has had access to the family's finances ever since she entered the picture, while Christine was using the money left over after surgeries to raise her children and try to make the most of her remaining time on Earth. That remark from Mykelti's husband about Christine wasting her money on experiences, along with Robyn receiving expensive jewelry and a huge house, really made matters worse. Naturally, Christine would prefer to spend time creating memories with her children than indulging in a luxurious ring. Funny how that mindset conveniently applies to all the material stuff she's surrounded herself with, like her giant house and tacky decor, and it's evident that her priorities were always with her family. It's frustrating that some people on this show can't seem to grasp that they need a serious reality check. For a person who is said to be present-oriented, she's undoubtedly content, lounging on the original wife's hard-earned cash. The fact that none of this has been addressed or challenged in any meaningful way on the show is really frustrating. The OG kids in particular seem to be particularly angry about their struggles, given that Robyn lived happily with a babysitter while they battled. The women are expected to support one another and cooperate in raising the children, which is the whole idea behind polygamy. However, Robyn entered the picture, brought with her an enormous amount of debt, took up all of Kody's time, and depleted the family's savings, and continued to do nothing to assist anyone else. Though it's evident to viewers and probably annoying to the original wives and children, the fact that Robyn has lived so extravagantly while taking nothing from the family pot and taking everything from it is beyond frustrating. The worst part is that it's never fully addressed. It's about time Robyn is held accountable for how much she's taken from the family while doing so little in return. Yes, there was a significant yuck factor when watching Sister Wives stars Kody and Robyn kiss the newborn twins. That they would be so irresponsible is mind-boggling, especially in light of the seriousness of herp exposure for infants. Babies can die from herpes. You would think that Robyn, of all people, would be acutely aware of this, especially considering how obnoxious she was toward Ariella, insisting that guests change into clean clothes and follow rigorous hygiene guidelines. It is so perplexing and unnerving to witness her flip around and act so casually now. It's also bizarre that Kody, who during the coronavirus was consumed with being mindful of germs, is now completely unconcerned. What became of that severe caution? Naturally, though, this is because he and Robyn are now the ones who want to become engaged, and they're more than willing to take the risks when it works for them. For Kody, convenience is everything, and if his goiter wife enters the picture, all of his previous health issues arise out of nowhere, and Mykelti doesn't give a damn. There's a whole other level to this, though. Unfortunately, it's not surprised that she's laid back about this given what we've seen from her in the past. But yeah, Robyn and Kody's reasoning here is completely nonsensical, aside from the fact that they're acting whenever they want, regardless of the risks to those babies. Crustalux, indeed, but Mykelti Brown, the daughter of Christine Brown, saying that teasing is her love language seems like an easy cover-up for some really cruel actions. Let's speak honestly. What she frequently refers to as teasing appears to be more control and criticism. It's almost as if she speaks inappropriately and then dismisses it as a joke, using it as a shield. She clearly has a penchant for making her mother and other people feel uncomfortable when someone calls her out. This is bullying, not lighthearted joking. If someone made the same kind of jokes about her, I'd be interested to see how she would respond. I'm certain she would be very offended. It seems sense that Mykelti would be acting out what it's like to be the family outcast. She's endured a great deal of bullying and hurtful comments from different family members over the years, so it makes logical that she could feel in control when she gives it out. It's almost as if she's learned to use teasing as a means of regaining control, since she could really use some therapy right now to work through everything. Taking a whole family to therapy seems like a good plan. Regarding Christine, the inclination toward passive aggression is not exclusive to Mykelti. Christine is also prone to saying hurtful things and then brushing them off as jokes, thinking that everyone will just go along with it. I don't understand why people always see Christine through rose-colored glasses. She's frequently just as critical of the family as anyone else is. And while I respect that Janelle and Christine are attempting to shield Mykelti from cyberbullying, it appears that some fans are sincerely merely attempting to draw attention to inappropriate behavior they observe on the show. Families might enjoy a good game of teasing each other, but there's a fine line between being playful and being harmful. It's crucial to establish trust before making jokes with new acquaintances. Mykelti seems to be more interested in getting a rise out of her mother than in building a relationship with her. It's interesting how Tony and Mykelti appear to taunt one another all the time, but when it comes to Christine, the dynamic can feel different because Mykelti tends to exaggerate her actions when she's on camera, which can irritate certain people. Perhaps that's just how she's edited, constantly presenting herself as the carefree kid. She appears more approachable and personable on her Patreon, though, which raises questions about the show's editing decisions. People's responses to Mykelti's taunting will ultimately vary, and it's evident that some people are extrapolating their moral beliefs onto her behavior. It could all come down to variations in personality. She's just an individual attempting to make sense of her existence, and not everyone will find her aesthetic appealing. However, that doesn't mean everything is okay. In fact, the situation is complicated and merits a more in-depth conversation. Janelle Brown, the star of Sister Wives, is incredibly charming. When he was slamming doors on you or screaming in your face, was he really being charismatic? What about the time you totally left all of your children for Robyn and her group? Why she's still complimenting him at this time is beyond comprehension. Indeed, narcissists are capable of charm and charisma. Kody appears to be the archetypal case of a haughty narcissist. Even though he may have a knack for gab, his deeds are frequently poisonous. I believe that when Janelle describes him as charming, she is only expressing the obvious, that he does possess that attention-grabbing, gregarious demeanor, regardless of what others may think. Although my daughter's father is a complete jerk, he has the ability to brighten any space. That is the nature of narcissists. They have this way of pulling people in even though they're terrible on the inside. Janelle is a class act. Perhaps that's why she's trying to be polite. I'm sure Kody put on the charm to win over the wives, and for years he love-bombed her. However, it seems as though he felt he didn't need to worry about anyone else after he had the necessary 3 marriages, and now that he has lost the first 3, he is beginning to appear like the total jerk that he is. It's almost poetic that after establishing his standing with Robyn, he believed he could disregard them. Now he must face the reality that he has cut himself off from the same people who supported him for so long. He obviously doesn't like the way that makes him appear, and it's fair that he should be held accountable for his deeds. If you are looking for more Sister Wives gossip, come back to TLC Flicks for all your updates. Bye, guys.